Hello, my listeners. Well, by the title, you already guessed what this video is going to be about. Chronic nightmare syndrome. What is it, and how is it different from regular nightmares and night terrors? Well, let's get straight into it, okay? Well, the reason why I'm doing this video is because I, like some people, suffer from this disease or condition or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like some people need to be informed about it. So here we are. First things first, let's discuss what a nightmare is. A nightmare, in and of itself, is usually the result of mental turmoil within oneself from days prior to events. This could be an argument, stress at work, stress within life, eating tons of junk food and watching horror movies, all of that stuff. It's usually a cognitive fear of something that has happened within your life that decides to, come to full life within your dreams. It can usually be resolved fairly easy. Change of diet, relieving of the stress, having fun with friends, that sort of thing. These sort of things usually can even be the result of you trying to suppress something. All of that stuff. I'm sure most of you know what a nightmare really is. And then there's a night terror, where you have the same fear, the same dream, night after night after night, and it just fills you with fear. It could be anything. It's usually snakes or spiders or slugs, something of questionable character. And that's usually caused by, again, a traumatic event within one's life. But it's usually all fear is irrational. You cannot completely unravel it. It will always be a part of you. It is part of our instincts, after all. But then we get to chronic nightmare syndrome. This one is a little different. Think of it like the dream version of severe clinical depression, I guess you could say. But instead of seeing the world as shit, you're seeing the horrors of it. An episode of chronic nightmares can last anywhere from a few days to a few weeks to several months. And what makes it different is that it progressively intensifies with the fear. Every night, the dreams just get worse and worse. And if you're lucky, when you wake up, you'll forget it all. And you won't be still feeling the effects long into the evening hours of the day. It isn't like a nightmare where it follows the same theme, or like a night terror where it's the same thing, same fear. With chronic nightmares, it is completely random, but at the same time, it's also, there are times when you can't tell if it's real or not, because the thing with chronic nightmares is that when they start to reach their peak, your senses start to become a factor within the dreams. You feel your skin being torn off of your body. You feel the creepy crawlies eating at your flesh. You feel being torn apart. You feel being burned alive. You feel everything. You see it. You smell it. You feel it. You taste it. And at the worst, it is when you can feel at the hypersensitive. Oh, I can't think of the word it's called. Hypersensory deprivation or whatever, where one sense is no longer available, so your other ones become heightened to an extreme extent. It is like that, except it's not just one sense, it's all of your senses, where you can feel every bead of sweat in your skin. You can feel everything. You smell everything. You see everything. And it's just it's not something that's easily dealt with. Most people who get chronic nightmares usually get them later on in life, at which point they have to go to see a psychologist for the rest of their life. They either go to a psychiatrist, they go to an insane asylum because the dreams eventually break them, or they commit suicide because the dreams just do not stop. For an example, the nightmare that I had a few nights ago, because I am currently in the early stages of an episode at this point in time, I had contracted some kind of contagious disease that at first made me bleed profusely out of my mouth and throat. Then painful blisters started appearing all over my body that oozed, blood and yellowish pus, hair falling out, black, it wasn't blood, but it was some kind of like black ooze pouring from my eyes. And, being isolated as people stare at you with fear and hate. That's just the beginning of the dreams. I mean, it will get 100, maybe even 1,000 times worse by the time they reach the end of this episode of chronic nightmares. There are a few people like me who get it early. I've had chronic nightmares since like the age of 8 or 9. It didn't really, the episodes didn't kick into full gear until about, puberty, when you got all that stress and confusion and body changes and all that playing a factor. And, depression. Oh my god, my depression sucked back then. It still sucks now, but it was a lot worse back then. It's something not too many people know about because it's not something that's openly talked about. Because, everybody has nightmares. A few people have night terrors, but even fewer than that have chronic nightmares. And as I said, you're usually going to be popping pills for the rest of your life to make you brain addled, or you'll break and wind up in an insane asylum, or you'll commit suicide. Those like me who get it young more or less become numb to it. Do I enjoy it? Hell no. Is it fun? No. You're pretty much just able to shrug it off and go whatever. I don't even know if, I don't know if any of you suffer from it as well. I doubt it. As I said, it's a very rare thing. But, it's something I feel like people need to know about. At least a little. And there's gonna be people that are gonna probably see this video and say that I'm lying or something like that. I mean, that's your opinion. But, it's just something that's been tormenting me for a good 2/3 of my life. And it will be with me until I take my final breath, hopefully in a very, very, very long time away. So, to me, it is real. To other people who suffer from it, it is real. I mean, this isn't like PTSD or, the severe cases of OCD or any of that other stuff where your fear is visible to the outside world. I could go through my day-to-day activities and not seem like I haven't slept. I mean, it's not fun, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm not like one of those people that can just sit here and give you a whole bunch of facts and like drag this on for a half hour or whatever. I'm at the almost at the 13-minute mark right now, and I'm almost done. So as I said, there's not really that much to go off of. It's just a long series of nightmares that progressively intensify to the point that you can't tell reality from the dreams. I've had dreams where my parents would burst in and start stabbing me, and I could feel everything. And when I woke up from that dream, I had to still my beating heart and check for, stab wounds and everything else, because it felt and looked real. That's the thing about chronic nightmares, is it can be something that it's very rarely irrational fears. It's possibilities that could become real. And it just takes you on the ride, I guess is the best way I could say it. This isn't really an easy topic to talk about, because as I said, most people probably won't believe it. It's one of those things where if you don't really have it, you're not going to. Not fully, anyway. I mean, there's nothing that anyone can really do either about it. I mean, it's just something that you deal with. Of course, I don't know what people who get it later on in our life really are like. I doubt that they become numb to it as I have, as others who have it usually do. It's just, it is a part of my life. And I hope I've enlightened some people about it. I'm sure there's other people out there that could describe it better than me. I'm very bad at explaining stuff. I've said that on numerous occasions. I really am bad at explaining stuff. But, yeah. I hope you guys found this at least a little educational. So, until later, sweet